This story is from the book, The Tales of Dr. Wu, A Journey into Truth, and is called The Flute. One day, early in my time at the School of Wu, I happened to be nearby when Dr. Wu was having a session with Music Master Wen and the school musicians. Music was one of Dr. Wu's great loves. Although I never saw him play any particular instrument, I often saw him working with the musicians in his own unconventional way and style. He would ask them to play the rhythm of the heart, the blood, or the nerves, for example, and suggest changes in tempo until they got it right. He said that real music always works on the natural rhythms of the moon, the planet, the sun, and the stars, either directly or as they appear in the human systems. He helped the musicians in finding the color rhythms that belonged with different astrological frequencies, and even experimented with the rhythms of wood, earth, water, fire, and metal, as well as individual crystals and minerals. On this particular occasion, he asked Master Wen, who was an expert flute player, to take her flute and cover 6 of the 7 holes with cloth, so only the first hole was left uncovered. He asked the other musicians and the audience to listen very attentively. We listened as Master Wen played the one note that was available to her. And now vary that note, said Dr. Wu. Master Wen played the same note, quieter and louder. Now get our attention with it, said Dr. Wu. Master Wen blew very hard, so that the note shrilled in the courtyard. Now haunt us with it, said Dr. Wu. Master Wen produced a different nature of note from her flute. And now play us the most soothing melody you can to help assuage our fears and calm our nerves, said Dr. Wu. Now, Music Master Wen, said Dr. Wu, I know you to be one of the most versatile of flute players in all this great continent. What was that like for you? Well, Dr. Wu, she responded, it was a most interesting experiment because, as much as I wanted to produce a melody, the instrument I had access to was limited in its range. So all I could produce was a varied monotone. I could make it louder or softer, shriller or more muted. I could make it cry or whisper, but I could produce no complete variance and thus not so much melody. Exactly, said Dr. Wu, and here comes the point. I want us to understand and contemplate this day, whether musicians or not. Our human systems are like your 7-noted flute, capable of producing the most amazing melodies. But when we play that amazing instrument only through the singular tone of our lower ego, it is the equivalent of only ever blowing through the first note of your flute. In the world, this is often referred to as looking out for number one. The problem with looking out for number one is that it only engages the first note of our ego and survival skills, and ignores the other 6 notes, which give birth to the richness of human life and possibility. When we look out for number one as our main priority, we walk around all day singing our song of ego, and it sounds like this. Dr. Wu suddenly broke into song and sang. Me, 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 me. Any more to come? Me, me. Dr. Wu sang to us in the tone of red, louder and more insistent, softer and self-pitying, then demanding and cajoling. We each recognized our daily going-on sounds and rhythm in that song. You see, said Dr. Wu, we carry our own noise with us all day long. When we are focused on our lower ego, we produce a monotone, which, by shape-shifting the word, says moon note. And indeed, the note of the moon varies little and is capable of little expression. Compare the barren landscape of the moon with the great variety of the planet, and you will see exactly what I mean. So it is that mostly people go through life producing a monotone or moon note, which is the same from day to day. What is for dinner? What is for lunch? Have I done the shopping? What is happening at work today? What's up with the neighbours? What mood is the boss in today? What is the latest news in the village? Well, when we live this way, it is like the demonstration of Master Wen only blowing through one note of her flute. But when we come to know what our amazing human instrument is capable of, through the full range of its notes, we can then produce melodies of amazing richness. We can even surprise the universe. If we become self-focused only on the needs of our lower energy centers, we give up exploring the range and versatility of our unique human instrument and settle for the songs we already know how to play. It would be as if Master Wen and her musicians decided they had done so well, they would no longer push forward and try anything new, but just play what is popular from their existing repertoire. This is the danger of what is called atrophy. And when we shapeshift the word atrophy, it says simply a trophy. And once someone is told they are the best at something and are given a trophy, there is the danger they stop, relax, and rest on their accomplishments. We are stunned to listen to the melodies and harmonies Master Wen can produce with her flute. But you yourself, each one of you, is a flute of far greater complexity, versatility and virtuosity than even the flute Master Wen holds in her hand right now. When we play our instrument, we can restrict ourselves to the first most easily accessible note of our lower ego, or we can seek to achieve the full range and virtuosity our human instrument offers. We can play tunes of such beauty and spiritual power that even the high essences and angelic powers of the universe may gather to listen, because, as human beings, we can produce original music that has never been in the universe before. Now, Master Wen, please undo the binding from the other 6 notes of your flute, and let us listen to the amazing melodies that can be produced. And here ends the story entitled The Flute, from the tales of Dr. Wu from the legendary court of the Yellow Emperor of China over 3,000 years ago.